Hello and welcome to String Training. This is my level 1 class to do a breakdown or kind of a bare bones approach to my arrangements of November Rain. I discovered many challenges within this. For one, arranging the piece was a big challenge. Performing it, memorizing, all those kind of things are difficult. Plus creating a level 1 class with this type of piece, very challenging. Because there's so many variations embedded inside the melodies here. The melodies are all very similar, but it's never exactly the same. So with that kind of a piece, it's just one line after another, a variation and variation. I suggest you, when you get into the verse and such, you do small, do one line, kind of set that aside, work on the second line, put the two together, work on that for a while, play the third line, and add that to the first two. You know, just don't try to play from beginning to end because you'll kind of get lost in there. By the time you get to the end of the piece, you got to start all over, and you haven't really learned anything through that whole process. So smaller, more digestible pieces is what I'm trying to get at. Use the notation I've provided for the level 1 class, and I'm just going to kind of do a walkthrough here. The introduction is I've simplified. I've taken all the 16th note rhythms out, and I've compressed this down to half the size of the original intro. But with our capo on the 4th fret, we begin with our C. Maintain your grip on your C with your 3rd finger, and then we're walking up the scale here, starting from our C on our first finger, 2nd string. Move to your 2nd fret in the bass. Notice my fingering. I'm using my 3rd and 4th finger there for this melody. My 2nd finger's busy playing that bass note onto an A. So when I give you the A, I'm really just in this lesson providing the open string. The final measure over a G in the bass. I'm going to play the G and the 2nd string, pinching those together, and then a melody on string number 2. Notice I'm playing the 3rd fret there with my pinky. Moving on to line number 2. Over the C in the bass, we've got a simplified melody on string number 1. Again, notice the fingering, my 3rd finger holding that bass note. A in the bass next. Our conclusion over a G. So I never let go of that G for the final 3 measures here of the line number 2. And just get through all quarter notes. And for this lesson, I've concluded the introduction there. Now here's where we get into the verses. And this is where all these variations are going to start to occur. Essentially what's going to happen here is we're going to be playing over a chord progression that goes C, A minor, and then G, G sus, G, and then G sus 2. So those G chords, got my 3rd and 2nd frets there, and then 3rd and 3rd frets. Back to the G, and then release your 2nd finger. So that's the first chord progression. We'll repeat that onto the A minor. Always concluding with that chord set of the G's. Then the chord progression changes to an A minor, a D7, or D7 slash F sharp. Very similar to the A minor, we just raise our 2nd finger to the top string. So here we go, A minor, back to your G's. And that chord progression will be repeated as well. So, 2 lines of the C, A minor, G, and then 2 lines of the A minor, F sharp, or D slash F sharp, G. We keep repeating that chord progression with vocal melody after vocal melody. So I'll get you started here. I'm not always going to take every line in depth. It's just work one line at a time. Listen to the performance, listen to the recording. I try to stay very close to the melodies and the rhythms that you hear within the recording, and just very slowly piece this verse together. That's how I did it, and that's how I'm suggesting you work through the same. But here's our first verse. So the A verse, beginning with the C in the bass. Do better than that. So we got C. Notice I'm using my first finger kind of coming over here into our A in the bass, a hammer with our second finger. In come your G's, back to your C in the bass. So over that C chord, I'm kind of holding the grip into the A. Your G's roll along. And in comes our other chord progression of the A minor. D slash F sharp. Still the G's finishing it off. And another pass of the A minor. So we've gone through the two primary chord progressions and the melodies that follow. We repeat those chord progressions yet again back to the C. And just again, so many different melodies. Now here's one that keeps repeating itself. We've got kind of a C9 grip here, and rolling along with, alternating between my 3rd fret on string 2, my open string. So I applied that to the A minor chord as well, and we'll repeat. A minor, alright, so roll along through that for a little while. And I'm going to jump now to the B verse, where things change up a little bit, and the chord progression here changes between the C and the D slash F sharp. So B verse, we have, starting with our bass note, so I guess we should always start with those pickup notes. So I'm hammering into the 2nd fret on string 3, getting that C, and then roll into the grip of the C chord. So we got open strings over the C. It's almost like we're forming the chord early. But that time kind of releasing it late. Alright, again, the first note in the bass is right on the beat number 1 of each measure, and all the other notes in there are vocal melody. As I've already stated, this wasn't going to be easy, a challenging track. You know, I get so many requests for, you know, like, do classic rock songs. There's a reason I don't do classic rock song after classic rock songs, because usually they're so difficult like this. Where the pop songs, you know, I learn, you know, 4 measures of melody and repeat it, and that's the verse. You know, so the verse comes up again, I repeat the same thing. So it's a lot easier. Where this, you've got to invest a lot of time and a lot of energy into just navigating all these variations. But here we go. Now on to the bridge of the piece over a B minor and a G chord. I got that. To the C, G, B minor to the C, this time to the A. Okay, but here's how I roll through here. We've got the B minor to that G in the bass. So B, get your C in the bass, up to your G in the bass, and I pull. Again, I'm always doing this with this hand. Repeat this time. Into an A minor at the end. So that was kind of the first line of the bridge. Your second line, same chord progression, different melodies. That was fairly similar over the B minor, C, and G, and then second time, no A minor finishing off. We go into a D, leading us into the solo, which is not going to be part of this lesson. Almost through our level 1 class, and we've done a lot of work, covered a lot of ground, but there's a, I'm only a guide here. There's a lot of work to be done with practicing. But we've got our outros remaining. The A outro. I've just compressed this down to its primary chords. Given a G5 chord, play the G, 3rd fret, open strings here. 3, 4, E5. Should go a little faster here. You get the idea, and then I've given you a little bit of this outro solo, starting with the G minor with just 3rd frets there on strings 1, 2, and 3 to a D. Reach over to your pinky, get that 3rd fret over the D, and then your C chord played in an odd way, 2nd finger and 4th. Then get back to that G minor bar there, and the B flat in the bass this time. An E flat power chord, an F, G, 2, 3, 4. We can repeat. And our final C outro. Over your G in the bass, we're going to play this melody on string number 3 with a pull. Now get a D in the bass. So get a C, C in the bass, and up to your higher note, and a pull there using my 4th and 2nd finger because my 3rd was busy. Between my 3rd and 2nd fret, an octave between B flats, drop down to the E flat in the bass. This time do a hammer, and our final measures of that G minor to an open pull. Good luck with that. It's well worth the effort because that's a great track. Moving on to the level 2 class, if you wish, I'll just get a little bit more in depth with the introduction and a few of the chord voicings and such that I may have overlooked to kind of fill out the sound of the arrangement. And I'm going to do some separate lessons for the solos.